When Toyota revealed the new Land Cruiser Prado or the J250, the new Land Cruiser for the United States, they teased this tiny mini cruiser. Now we have the latest information coming from Japan on this little cruiser. Let's go. We just had information this past week on the baby G-Wagon. Baby G is what I'm calling it, or you could call it little G. Here we have the little cruiser, and this thing is coming to the market. They're saying it's coming next year. If you're excited for a small Toyota Land Cruiser, smash the heck out of that like button and make sure you subscribe, because I'm going to Japan in a month in October for the Japan Mobility Show, aka the Tokyo Motor Show. And if Toyota decides to unveil this delicious tiny Land Cruiser there, I will bring it to you in the flesh. But if they don't, I'll be bringing you a bunch of other things like the new Century SUV that they just revealed, as well as the whole Crown lineup. So make sure you subscribe. You don't want to miss that. Hit the bell icon. And let's just get into the design first. They believe this is pretty accurate to what this vehicle will look like. They essentially are saying it is a shrunken down J250. They're saying it will have circular headlights as well. And man, you know, when I initially saw it, I'm like, hey, it's probably going to be on like the K platform, which is not body on frame. That's kind of what the Camry, like the Sienna, the Highlander, the Grand Highlander, all the Lexus crossovers for the most part. That's all on the K platform. It's a front wheel drive platform. They're saying that this is actually going to be on a shrunken F platform. The F platform is what the 300, the 250, the Tundra, the Sequoia, the new Tacoma is going to be on. So yeah, it is more than likely going to be true body on frame with an itty bitty wheelbase. As much as I want to get excited for this being true body on frame, like a real truck, like a real Land Cruiser, or like a 4Runner for that matter, I have to take this with a grain of salt. Like, this vehicle was initially teased as a battery electric vehicle, and they're saying that Toyota has scrapped that idea. Now, they're not saying that it can't happen in the future, but at launch, which they're saying is next year, so 2024 for this little guy, they're saying that we could see hybrid powertrains as well as naturally aspirated powertrains. So think of what we have on the upcoming Tacoma. We have a turbocharged setup, and then you also have a turbocharged hybrid setup. What we will see here is anyone's guess. They are saying that it could be like a 1.5 liter turbo. We don't see any small displacement turbocharged engines mixed with hybrid setups. The thing is, the problem with that, Toyota would have to use that 1.5 liter 4-cylinder turbo on other vehicles and products. So, you know, the only thing that's close that they have right now is a 1.6 liter 3-cylinder from the GR Yaris and the GR Corolla. There's no way that they would put that in here. This is a much higher volume vehicle. So what will they put in here? Well, I think that they'll probably put the 2.5 liter hybrid in here. Not exactly like what we see in the 4Runner hybrid, for example, but it will in theory use the same electric motor as that we have in the Tacoma hybrid and the Tundra hybrid, which is about 48 horsepower and about 200 pound-feet of torque. Now, the Tundra has a 10-speed auto, but the Tacoma, the new Tacoma, will have an 8-speed auto mated to the hybrid system. So I think that would be able to fit in here. So you have an 8-speed auto, 50 horsepower electric motor, and then what I think would happen is the most likely is a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder naturally aspirated. And maybe I'll bust out the spreadsheet in a little bit on what kind of power we would see from something like that. I think 250 horsepower would be around where it would be off the top of my head, though. We have one more image of its side profile. This thing looks tiny. It looks a lot like the compact cruiser BEV concept that we got. Now, what do you guys think about all this plastic cladding? It helps with ruggedness. It makes it look cheaper, in my opinion. And this thing, it does need to be quite affordable. The thing is, in a vehicle that this small, still body on frame, I don't see it being that affordable. I mean, it's got to fit, you would think, underneath the 4Runner in pricing, unless they just call this the 4Runner for America, which wouldn't make sense, but anything's possible at this point. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of all this black plastic cladding at the bottom. Again, but this is just an artist render. Best car has been extraordinarily accurate on the J250. They're accurate on the Prius. They're accurate on the GR Corolla. So we'll see. Now I'll do a separate video on what they have for the NSX, so stay tuned for that. Some other information here. They're saying that it's roughly the size of a Corolla Cross, just a lot taller. Of course, that makes sense. The reason that it's not going to be a battery electric vehicle is mainly for infrastructure. Toyota's touting. What are people in apartments going to do? Things of that nature. Now, they want to make it hybrid, and making it hybrid is going to appeal to a lot more people. It makes a lot more sense as a hybrid or as a naturally aspirated vehicle than a battery electric vehicle, especially if you're taking this thing overlanding. They say it could be the 2-liter naturally aspirated hybrid or the 2.5-liter naturally aspirated hybrid. So if it is the 2-liter, that is about 169 horsepower plus 50 horsepower from the electric motor. So you're only going to see 217 horsepower, which with the electric torque in there, it might be enough if it's Corolla Cross size, but this thing is going to have bigger tires. It's going to be lifted. It's going to be a brick on the highway. So what I want to see is the naturally aspirated 2.5-liter was around 203 horsepower. You add 48 horsepower to that. So now we're at 250. That's probably the sweet spot for this. And you'll be able to get that hybrid efficiency as well and keep the simplicity. Get the turbo out of the situation. That will help reduce costs. And yeah, when you hybridize it, it's going to give you that great fuel economy and the instant torque as well off the line. But I'll see you guys down below on the mini Land Cruiser. Should be coming next year. That means we'll have an announcement for it maybe in the spring at the latest, something like that. So stay tuned. I can't wait to bring that information to you. And then moving forward, we have some information on the electric Hilux. We're not going to get it here, so I'm not going to cover it. All right, the BZ5X. This thing is, well, they're saying that, well, this was teased also. This is a render, but it's based off the teaser that we had at the same time of the Land Cruiser reveal, but we also got that teaser of the Mini Cruiser at the same time. This was in the same image. So they're saying this will be exclusively built in North America, which should be at the Kentucky plant. And I think they didn't write up a lot about it because it is probably not coming to the Japanese market. They're saying it is on the K platform, no surprise, which is it's the ETNGA platform, but it's just a modification. Updated electronics in here that is more efficient and more space efficient as well compared to what we have on the BZ4X and the Lexus RZ, for example. So hopefully we see a next generation of e-axles is what I'm pretty much saying here. From Blue Nexus, Aishin, and Denso. So we'll see this in 2025. Lexus version I'm hearing in 2026. So it's around the corner. I think, I'm also hearing rumors, and you take this with a grain of salt, but my source is saying that there could be a battery electric Sienna coming next, and they could skip the Prime Sienna, which if they're forced essentially by EPA regulations and mainly CARB regulations from the CARB states led by California, they might have to skip plug-in hybrid Sienna and go straight to battery electric Sienna. So stay tuned for that. That's just kind of, it's really, really early, those rumors that I'm hearing, but stay tuned because if I hear anything, you guys know how much I love the Sienna. But I'm going to end there. Thank you guys for watching. Like I said, heading to Japan next month. I will also be driving the Lexus TZ. Is that next month? I think that's early next month. I'll be driving the Tacoma by the end of the year too. So a lot of great stuff coming for the channel. Make sure you subscribe. Appreciate you. Appreciate the paying members as well. Thank you guys. You make this happen. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. But I think I'm going to end this by it's time, guys. It's time to celebrate the Land Cruiser lineup. No, we don't exactly get the entire lineup in the United States. We don't get the 300, but we will get this mini one. We will get the J250. We get the Lexus GX as well as the Lexus LX. And we get the new 4Runner too, which what if this comes out around the same, it's supposed to come out around the same time as the new 4Runner. So I'm not saying this is the new 4Runner, but who knows? There's a lot of interesting stuff that Toyota has to figure out, or at least has to communicate to us about their body-on-frame, sturdy off-road vehicle. So anyways, I got to shut down there. Thank you guys for watching. Catching the next one. Have a great day and peace.